and Satnam. Micah Sky here. I was about to make my second batch of almond milk, and I thought I would just flick the camera on and bring you all along with me. It's one of the weekly practices that I do, and not only can I make almond milk, but we use the byproduct, the almond pulp, to make anything from macaroons to raw cake to cookies, you name it. Depends on if you want to press it with a few ingredients that bind it and just have it be refrigerated, or you can actually make dehydrated cookies or macaroons, such things. So you really get two things, both milk and cookies, so to speak, from one ingredient. I thought I'd bring you along with me. I'm about to do the second batch. I just did the first round, and we used some of it for a smoothie, so you can see it's, you know, after, I probably got just under half a gallon with the first round, and I'm going to fill the rest of this up using the remaining almonds. So first and foremost, these almonds have been soaked about 8 hours and rinsed thoroughly. And I'm going to so we got 2.5 cups to 3 cups of almonds, depending on how thick and creamy you want your milk to be. You can always blend more and add more water in later. So next we're going to go a tablespoon of vanilla extract. A tablespoon. I personally like a specific style of stevia that has a vanilla extract in it. For some of you, you might want to use honey. You might want to use xylitol, or maybe personally not have any sweetener at all. I like to have a little sweetener, and I like to have a little sea salt. I found I'm going to fill this up with water. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be all the way to the top, but generally a good measurement is 2.5 to 3 cups of nuts, and the rest of your pitcher filled with water. Then we are going to go kind of a medium to high pulse. We don't want to blend it too fine. Next, we have our bowl here with the cheesecloth. And it's as simple as this. I'm going to pour this through my cheesecloth here. Cinching the bag, and I'm now going to just compress, squeeze out this milk. And as I do that, I'm going to press all the milk and cream out of the almond pulp. Now, depending if you're going to use this pulp for, let's say, a cake, a raw cake, where we would use something like psyllium husk and maybe some coconut meat as a binding agent, you would want to probably make your pulp a little more moist, meaning you would want to leave a little more of this almond milk in it. If you're going to make something like macaroons, or even maybe some dehydrated cookies, since you're dehydrating them anyways, which is going to get the liquid out, you're going to want to get as much of that out as possible. Try to really get a drier pulp. And really, we found with raw cakes, the amount of liquid or moisture left in the pulp allows for the texture of the cake that you're making. Take my pulp, flip it over, and dump it into our bowl here. Okay. Another thing I like to do with this stuff actually is I actually like to mix nutritional yeast, little coconut oil, sea salt, and actually make like a dehydrated cheese crumble. I'll dehydrate it. Or I'll take one of our coconut yogurts that's fermented, mix it with nutritional yeast, some sea salt, maybe a little miso, and then I'll lay it out on a tray in little crumbles, and I'll make these cheese crumbles that are really good on a salad. All almond pulp for. So we're going to specifically make macaroons. Now, I got my fresh almond milk ready. Depending on if you're going to use a mason jar or not, I'm going to use a funnel for mine, and I'm just going to pour this in. I'm combining 2 batches right now. There we go. And of course I'll usually leave the last bit out and just make a drink with it myself if I run out of space. Or I'll pre-make like a like a cold press almond milk latte and have it just in a bottle and ready to go the next day. All right, we've transferred that. We're gonna clean out our blender real fast. And of course, this is also an awesome period where you can just take some of that leftover almond pulp, the almond milk, add some protein powder to it, and just rock a smoothie right from your batch of almond milk without having to clean this thing. It's an easy transition. So we got a bit of froth and bubbles you can see on the top here, and that'll settle over the next probably 20-30 minutes. And then if you don't feel like drinking the rest, I can take this last little leftover bit and pour it in as this foam kind of settles down. So that's going to go in the fridge. And now, while I have it, you can either take this and just throw it into the refrigerator in a Tupperware till you're ready to make it, or you can just transition right into mixing and making this into your secondary product to your awesome almond milk that took you about 20 minutes to make outside of, preemptively soaking the almonds for about 8 hours. All right, so that'll come in part 2. We're gonna make cookies and macaroons from this almond pulp. Hope this was helpful and informative to you all. Feel free to like the page below. For more information and basic lifestyle practices that are pure and clean and based in sovereignty, you being able to independently make your own milk instead of having to go somewhere just to get it. Right? Blessings, aloha, and sana.